share that back. And it turns out, I guess, looks like my mic was muted again. Somehow that button got hit. Rookie mistake. I guess there's no one in the chat to catch me. So I'll trim that first part out. But let me get I'll do the a do-over, I guess, and start over. So let me share that again. So let me share my screen here. So let's share this Toy Polloi screen. So as I was saying, the Toy Polloi website's fantastic. So subscribe to him, follow him. He's got some great videos on toy repair and Micronauts and vintage toys. So he's got this Micronaut stand that's a great way to be able to stand. These figures don't want to stand up on their own, so it's a nice looking design here, and you can print these pretty quickly, about a half hour to print each stand, depending on your settings. And they look really nice, so they did a nice job with that design. I use the STL file. One of the tips I wanted to give was the STL file was very, very small when I downloaded it, so I upscaled it in Mesh Mixer. So I'll show everyone how to do that. And then let me go back to his. I'll pause this here. Let me go back to his video. Explain what was there. So he's showing how he's got all these figures. These are some initial designs and stands that they had to test, and he's got what he had. The great idea was to take some plastic. I use 5mm, so I think he used a smaller, either larger size, and he filed it down. So I'll show how I measured that and how to get that correct size. And then what he did, here's the modeling. I'm not sure what program they're using there, but is that Autodesk? Yeah, it looks like Autodesk. So they did the stand, and they did this. Initially, they were going to make something fancy, and sometimes doing something simpler is actually better by having just bending a piece of plastic tubing to fit instead of trying to 3D print something. So one of the big problems with 3D printing is it's not very precise. I mean, if you're doing injection molding, you can get the plastic much more accurate. So think of it like you're almost taking a hot iron and you're melting plastic, and you're squirting that plastic out. So it's going through 0.4mm nozzles, standard nozzle size, and it's not very. I mean, it's accurate, but it's not precision tolerance here. So the Toy Polloi, the great idea, you heat it up with a heat gun, and you're just bending it, and you just pick a radius. Now, actually, one of the things I did, I came up with a tool. I made a 3D printed a tool to bend it to get the same bend every time. So I'll show you guys that design. And what's nice here is you can just repeat this. You can just keep making these and repeating these out, which is great. So you can make a bunch of these relatively quickly. And by using 5mm diameter, I was able to avoid you had to file a little bit because the part gets deformed when you heat it up, but it's pretty easy to do, and just hit it with a file. So he's showing how how they 3D printed it. He used a nice translucent red. I picked a blue for mine, but you can do any color you want and multiple colors. So it's whatever you want. That's the nice thing with 3D printing. You can just customize the design and do whatever you want to get that part the way you want it, and really looks nice. And using that clear rod, plastic rod, it's the figure's kind of held up there, so it is really nice. Oh, and I better like this video too. So let's make sure to like that. But it's really ingenious design. And now that my sound's working, I'll go through the steps that I used to print this, and show you how I was able to get this to work. But I'd recommend, obviously go watch Toy Polloi's video to get the background on everything and how he did it. And I'm just, I'd like to do this just to show how I was able to, tweak some of the parts of the file and to get this to work. So let me pull over Mesh Mixer. So what I said before was I highly recommend, installing Mesh Mixer. It's a free software, and it's a great way to get started with 3D. It's a really, really simple program to use. So the website to that is, let me share the screen now. Let's share that. So it's meshmixer.com. They've got it for Mac and iOS, and it's a great intro tool to 3D modeling. And you can do a lot of simple things, and it's not too overwhelming. If you watch a few of the tutorials, it's makes working with some of these parts much simpler. So what I'm going to show is how I started. So we'll go A to Z here. So let me what you do, the first thing with Mesh Mixer, you actually import a file. So for fun here, I'll just import a bunny, and we're going to say we're going to replace this. We want to just start with the bunny. So you can spin this bunny around if you wanted to. Basically, you can edit the bunny. So let's say the most common thing is to transform. So we want to say scale this guy, make this bunny a little bit smaller. So you go to you click on the square in the middle. If you're looking here, and I can just drag that. Oh, if I hit that right here, I can zoom in and out and make that bunny bigger and smaller. So what's nice too, if I want to go in one direction, I can click this blue arrow here. Oh, that's the move. If I click the rectangle at the end, if I click that, see how it's going to deform the bunny that way? So I can go make it a little bit fatter, and I can go, let me grab this one, make him a little longer, and let's make him a little taller that way. I'm not doing that by scale. You could actually, grab this middle part and then scale him up automatically. And then we've got to move him up. So let's grab that green arrow. So I'm just showing you, some of the real basics. But see, I was able to actually, kind of mutate. I want the bunny a little bit fatter. Let's go like that, right? And as we go around, you can see that's one fat bunny, right? And you can do basic sculpting. I'm not doing anything, fancy here or any goals in mind. But you can just literally go on this, make him a mutant bunny, right? But once you get good at this program, if I wanted to make the eyes, bulge out a little bit, and you're not really working with dimensions here. You're just, it's kind of almost like you're working with clay. So like that went in. So if you're holding it, you're going in. That's kind of gross what you can do in terms of mangling or mutating, if you're into as we say, if you're a comic book fan, mutant bunny. But there's just some basic tweaks, and you can always undo what you've done. You can change the brushes here, and you really need to watch some tutorials and learn how to do what you're trying to do. But you can it's amazing what you can just do some weird things. So just have some fun and just hey Eric, hey, thanks for hopping by. Yep, I'm showing how to hopefully not hurt the bunny too much. Yep. So let me clear it. Yeah, the bunnies I was showing how to. Yeah, this bunny is not doing well. Yep, I was just showing some of the basics of modifying a part in a 3D for a 3D printer. So yeah, this bunny's not he's not going to want to print that well. Yep, but this is really with no dimensions here. You just got the bunny. If you're trying to do something artistic, I come from an engineering background where you're trying to Teenage Mutant Bunny Rabbit, where I'm trying to do work with dimensions or, make a part for something. Yeah, that's pretty scary. So let's let's open up the stand here. So we're going to do import, and then we're going to replace this mutant buddy. He's in bad shape. Yeah. So what we're going to do here is open up this Micronaut stand that I got from Toy Polloi. So this is the original stand. So if I open that up, there we go. Bunny's the bunny is no more. Yep. So this is the original stand from Toy Polloi, and what I found was if you click on this, so we want to do transform here. So we'll click edit. So we want to transform the size of this. So we're going to click transform, and what we can see here is the height of this is 0.315 millimeters. So it's super small. So really, what we want to do here is just get this up to. I found that 8 millimeters was about the right size. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to click 8 millimeters and press the tab. And you want to make sure uniform scaling is set. So you click there and just to accept. And now this is going to pop up heck of a lot bigger. So there we go. So there's the stand there, and let's see, we've got to raise that up. So what we're going to do is transform again, and we can move that up. So let's just grab the center here. We're just going to move. Oh, that's the scale. So we don't want to scale that. So let me do undo. So what we want to do is grab that green. So we're going to move it up. The green here, move it up. And we can you can see the numbers change. So it's translating X, Y, and Z. If you guys can read that. Yep. Hey, Clobberin Times is here, trying to get here. No worries, Mike. You've been streaming for a long time with Doomcock, so thought it'd be fun to chat. But yeah, we're late night riding here, and then congrats to Clobberin Times for getting to 1,000. That's awesome. Much deserved, and should have had it a long time ago. I don't know what people are thinking not subscribing, but yeah, it's great. No problem. Yep, Dadman's here too. Yep. So we're all hanging out with Raquel and Clobby at Doomcock stream before, and Mike said he might hop on, but I had a super chat probably like an hour ago. It finally got through. Doomcock's got so many super chats. I don't know if did they cut off the super chats at one point and say no more. Otherwise, or I know Gary does a super chat wrap up the next day. I've had that happen with some of my super chats, which it's fine. I understand. Yeah, you've got so many people, so then he has that nice wrap up where he gives his goes through the super chats. So. Yeah, so it was great to see him and Raquel on there. So the reaction was really good, which was great. So I'm sure they'll be back on again. So what we did here, guys, we got this fancy Micronaut stand. We've got it scaled up. So now you do accept here. So now if you click transform again, you can see, where the position is. So it's in the size. So it's 8 millimeters. It's 45 by 30. So going by those numbers, I was assuming that was the original, size that they were looking. Yep. Oh, Gary skips my super chats half the time. Well, yep. I guess he's got so many, but yeah, that's not good. Yeah, but yeah. So. He's never missed I think actually Gary missed one of my super chats on Game of Thrones. But they get so many that it was okay. My point got across on the screen. So, and yeah, it's a good way to support those guys. So, yeah, it's all good. Yep. So, let me see can you move? Oh, you transform that doesn't move over, so you can see it better. But hopefully, you guys can see that. So yeah, so I figured the designer. You always look. Yeah, I figured 8 millimeter. That's about right for the height, and that you've got. So I can switch to world frame here. You can see the positioning and the coordinates. So it's let's get that scaled here. So now I'm just going to cancel out. We don't want to scale anymore. So the other thing I did to check The Micronaut, the hole you want to be around a little bit bigger than 5 millimeters or 5 millimeters. So we can do when you're printing, you always have things, shrink down or it's never exact, especially you're dealing with millimeters here. So 1 millimeter is pretty damn small. So what I did, I brought in a cylinder and I made it 5.5 millimeters, and I put it here, and then I subtracted that from this original stand. So we can do here, you can do mesh mix, and you can do cylinder, and then you can just drop this cylinder right here, and now I can change the dimensions of this cylinder. So I can just make it, I can move it here, I can just make it make it big like that. I'm just going to accept it right now. It's way too big. Let's do view. If you go view here, you can do show objects browser. So these are the different objects on the screen. Oh, it should show me. Let's see, let me close that. That should be able to move around here. Let's see, view. Let's see, show all. View. Show objects browser. That's supposed to show up here. And I should have two objects, actually. Oh, sometimes things don't work the way they're supposed to work. So let me do actions, undo. Undo back. Actions, undo back. Control Z. Control Z. Alright, so this object browser should be moving around freely on the screen. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's see here. I've actually never had that happen before. Hey, Steve Mitchum. How's it going? Maddie's daddy. How's Maddie doing? Good, I hope. I heard she started to crawl, so that's pretty cool. So let's see here. I guess Steve is the artist here, so he could probably give me a point or two on this. But what I want to do here is just add the cylinder here. So I'm going to try this again. Add cylinder. Oh, we cancel that. Cancel. Let's do. Here's that cylinder here. So edit, transform. We're just going to move that. Huh. There we go. Let's do accept here. So let's do transform. Let's move this over. So what I should be able to do is just get the cylinder. And of course it's not, the program's not cooperating with me right now for some strange reason. Yeah, that's not sure why this is not moving here. Let me close this file totally out. Let me just exit out. Don't save. Let me go back into Mesh Mixer. I've never had that happen to me before where I couldn't move a piece like that. And I actually have the steps that I did. I have it saved in between, but let's go back to Mesh Mixer. Yep. Also, Dadman's got StreamYard set up. Cool. They could have some streams with you too. Yep. Well, if anyone wants to hop on, if Steve Mitchum, Eric K, or Dadman, if you guys want to hop on and hang out for a few minutes, let me know. I can drop a link. Steve can give me some tips. Yep. Let's do import and do Micronauts stand. Open, and I can just show what I did. I had the stand working anyway, and then so we want to do is edit, transform. Yeah, never happened before. That's what she said. Yeah, and then we're gonna scale this. We're just gonna make that 8 millimeters. And now we're going to zoom out here. So that's quite, the original STL file was really small, but you're not losing any, really losing any resolution there. So I'm just going to accept that. So we've got that guy. Now let's transform it again. Let's move that up, that axis up. So it's on top of the bed there. And then we're going to do accept. And now we're going to do, let's do view, show objects browser. Now this, I don't know why, maybe there's a bug in this program, but this is supposed to show you, like I can turn this, should be able to toggle there, the file on and off. You can change the target. So now if I add a new mesh mix, so let's do click mesh mix. We're just going to do a cylinder. We're just going to drop it here. And we want it to be in the same plane. Like that. I'm just going to drop it here. And we're going to do create new object. That's probably what I made a mistake. I didn't do create new object. So like I said, I'm not an expert in this program. So accept. There we go. Drop part number 1, right? So now we got the drop part. We can edit that now. So that was a simple thing. It was just one little thing you mess up, and you're not sure why that's never happened before. Yep. So you click transform. So we're going to do here. We're going to make this uniform scaling. We're going to make this 5.5 millimeters. You could maybe go 6 even, but 5.5 seemed to work pretty well. And then I'm just going to do accept here. Yeah, Eric is saying it's 3D printed carbon fiber and other material. Yep, incredibly strong. Yeah, way stronger than aluminum. Yeah, there's some new printing materials you can use. Because Eric had actually talked to me about maybe doing a part for one of his bikes that had broken. And yeah, there are some new materials with carbon fiber embedded. You do have to get a high quality or a hardened nozzle. They're really not that expensive, more expensive. But the standard brass nozzle is just going to get eaten up. And you can do, and actually metal printing is coming too. But years ago when we were going to get our first 3D printer at work, we were looking at it for a company, and they were $20,000 to $30,000, and you could do some nice things, but not. It was pretty limited. It was it's a lot of money to put in a machine. You could get a CNC machine for that much, where you could actually make parts out of metal. But of course, the advantage is you can do rapid prototyping. So what some of these new materials that Eric has mentioned, I've been reading about and seeing, and some of the higher end commercial machines, and then eventually that always trickles down to the end user for the most part. But yeah, they can do some incredible things by impregnating materials in the plastic. If you just do standard PETG or PLA, it's relatively strong, but it's not not something that you'd want to have if you depend on it for safety or something like that. But yeah, they keep making some huge strides, and they can print some amazing things. And these are higher end machines. I mean, my machine I think is $300 to $400, but you can get some, if you get an industrial level machine. I've seen some of the literature and some of the videos. It's pretty amazing. So now what we want to do here is let's just make this part a heck of a lot longer than it needs to be. So let's just drag it in the Z or Z. Doesn't really matter. Because it's just we're just going to do a Boolean operation, and then we're just going to move. I could, just go by a coordinate system here. I'm just going to eyeball it, and just move it, center it that way. Let me grab that. Let's see here. Let's move that over here. Oops. Grabbed the wrong arrow. Like that. So we're just going to, really I should, find the coordinate center of that hole there. I'm just showing you how I did it. I was a little bit more careful when I made the the 3D model, but you know, you can pretty much eyeball it, and you're not talking, you know, important tolerances. Like if it's, you know, off a half a millimeter or so, doesn't really matter for something like that. Yep. Yeah, Eric is saying, yeah, the one I wanted was 20K, but who has that money to throw around? Yeah, you can buy a nice motorcycle or a couple of nice bikes for that much money, or a car even. So yes, but I think probably, you know, in 5 to 10 years, that 20K machine maybe will be $1,000. I mean, you guys remember, like, if you're old enough, you remember getting the first laser printer at work. I think they were like $4,000 or something. And now you can get a printer, you know, for $100 or $80. You get a, you know, dot matrix, not dot matrix. I'm showing my age. A inkjet printer, or even a cheap, you know, laser printer for, you know, for $100. You know, which is, you know, amazing when you think. My first printer was a Tandy, you know, for my color computer. It was a dot matrix, and it was so cheap that the G, you know, anything below didn't go below, like the G was above. So I printed like my first word processor book report to hand in. The teacher's like, "What kind of typewriter is this?" I'm like, "It's not a typewriter, it's a printer." You know, a dot matrix printer. So she's like, "Oh, that's okay. That's kind of cool." So here I've just got this eyeballed and lined up. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to do accept this. You know, you could, you know, do a nicer job of getting, you know, the coordinates lined up more exactly. I'm just showing you how, you know, how this works. And then we want to do is just a Boolean operation. So we're going to, in the object selector here, going to select both. And then once you select both, this pops up. So we're going to do a Boolean difference. So what that means, it's almost like you're machining. Picture this like a drill is going through. We're going to take the 5.5 millimeter out of the center of the stand. So we're just going to do Boolean difference here. So you just click that. Boom. It's so damn easy. And then you've cleared out that, you know, I think it was pretty accurate. I think it was pretty close, but it trimmed it a little bit. So gave you a nice clearance there. So then you just do accept. Oh, that's not good. So let's undo that. Something went wrong. I think, you know, this model here, what we got to do is, I think there's a problem with this model. We've got to fix the model here. There was actually an error in this model, I think. And probably what I should have done is fix it first. So let's go back. Okay, we're here. So I think you can do analysis. And I think what I did this one, you can do inspector here. And you can do inspect and repair defects. Just do auto repair all. And then we'll do done. So what that does, it goes through the model and then fixes that model. And then we'll convert it to solid. Yep. So Eric is saying, yes, you had the old ones with the holes to guide the paper. Sound like was someone engraving it. Yep. Yeah, that's basically what it does. Yep. So let's see here. So let's solidify these. So if we do edit and transform, let's see. So edit, make solid. So let's make this solid. And then you can change your accuracy on the solid. So this isn't, you know, quote unquote rocket science, but you can make, you know, the computers are pretty fast. You can make the mesh a bit more dense. So you just accept. And then we're going to solidify the stand here. So we'll do edit and make solid. And then we can actually, let's make it a little more accurate. See, I kind of deformed it. So we're going to do update. It's going to remesh it again. And hopefully, there we go. And you can make it a little bit more dense. It's just a matter of how, you know, good the model is. But let's just do accept that there, because we're not going to actually print this one. And then now what we're going to do, if we select these two, we're going to put this one below there. So if we select this solid first, the stand, and we click that, we do Boolean difference, There we go. And if we do accept, that should work now because we did with the, yeah, there we do with the solids there. So Eric signed up to go to space today. We were with Mr. Branson today. Yep. That's pretty awesome. When, what's the wait for that? Yep. Eric in space. Yep. Yeah. I always think of the Muppets with Miss Piggy in space. Yep. Was it the pigs in space? So, there we go. Let's move. I don't know why I can't move that around left and right. Usually that floats around the screen. It must be a setting up here. I got to check. But anyway, so you've got this 5.5 millimeter. Now, the one thing I found too, I'll show you what I printed. What happened was, its design looks great. I love the M there for Mego or Micromen, as it was called in Japan. My printer doesn't have enough resolution, so if you're doing a resin printer, it might print a little bit better, but it's really, really, low raise there. So what I did, I'll show you my finished one, but I selected everything on the M. So let's make that brush a little bit bigger. So literally what you can do, you can select this whole surface here and raise it up. So let's make this bigger. So I'm not going to go through I worked through and you select it, and I went carefully through and selected this whole section here. There's probably a better way to do it. Yep. That was running through his head. Yep. Send me that info. That'd be cool to see. Yep. What's fun is some of that expensive stuff, like we're saying, and I've seen, I have a CNC machine for a machine shop. Got a mill. Oh, take care, Dad, man. Catch you tomorrow. Yeah, this is a pretty late one. I think Clobby's still going over with Raquel at Doomcock, but yeah, that's a lot of super chats to go through. But yeah, appreciate you stopping by, and catch you tomorrow. Yeah, and let us know when you got your channel up and running. It'll be great to watch some of your videos. So basically, what you can do here, you've got you select, you're selecting this section, and then you can modify, you can do edit, transform, and then move this whole. You could either separate it, reduce it, remesh, or you can extrude it or extract it. So basically, what I did, I just took this M and I moved it up. So you can also do a transform here. You can grab that. I'm just, it's going to mess up. I'm just doing some. It's not the whole selection there, but you could also convert and edit. Do a lot of different things. You can just play with this and just have fun with it, and then you can extract and move different pieces up. That's pretty amazing what you can do with it. You can change the type of brush. You can do a sphere brush, so you're grabbing more of the part. You can change the size of the brush and change the brush there. So basically, what you're doing, you're just selecting this section. So let me get to so we're not all up to all hours of the night. Let me just open up the part that I did. So let's do open, and we're going to discard this. Yep. You should want to do this. Yep. So let's open up the one that I already changed, and I'll show you. So what I did, I called it fixed because it's so basically. This is the part that I done. You making that 5.5 millimeters, and that one's still pretty low. Let's turn off this printer bed here. There we go. So let's open the next one that I did, and let's open it up. And I think it's V3. Let's see. I think that's the one I did. There we go. So you can see here what I did on this. I raised the M up, so I'd grab that M. If you go sideways here, you'll see it's a lot bigger raise there. So it's easier for the 3D printer to print. So most layer levels are like 0.2 millimeters is pretty standard. So if you're less than 0.2, you can do it, but it's really tough for the printer to have any kind of resolution, to get it to work. So I did that version. The other thing I did too, I tried to invert it, so it's open the file, and I did an inverted M, which I thought would be fun to try too. So let's see if that. Oh, there it goes. It's getting slow. So I tried one for fun, and you can see that these are solid, so you can see the different. If I widen that out, Mike is still trying. Yeah, let me tell Mike. Yeah. No worries, man. No worries. So I appreciate Mike even trying to get over here. He's not obligated to get over here, but he's a great friend. So that's pretty nice of him. Yep. But so here's the inverted M. So let's with a 3D printer, you can do kind of fun stuff like that. And I painted one just to see how that goes, and I'll show you guys that one. You can let me know what you think looks better. So then you can see the different pieces. So you've got the stand here, and you've got just the M. Let's see, where's the M part here? Well, I've already extracted it, so you can't see it yet. And Mike's saying the stream that never ends. Yep, that's okay, Mike. Yep. So here's the M. So I just extracted that M. A little messy here and some of the edges, but it's okay. It's it's a rough job. So just it's taking that M out of the solid here, and so that's the. Let's see if I turn that off, then we'll. There we go. So you can see, by extracting that part, it's pretty simple, it's basic mold work. Then you can get that piece. So we've got two of those pieces. So that's just some basic mesh mixer stuff, and you can just have fun, make mutant buddies, and then do whatever you want. It's all non-destructive. So you make a copy or make a copy of the part, and just have fun and try to modify things, and create whatever you want. So it's really amazing what you can do with a free tool. It's sky's the limit, really. It's just amazing. So let's close this guy out. And now the next thing that I did, if you want to get a little more advanced, is try to use Blender, which is a free software. I know a lot of people love ZBrush and some other 3D programs. You can also use Autodesk or SolidWorks or whatever you like. But Blender's free. This part took me probably about 6 hours to do, I think, because I've never used Blender before, and I was just trying to learn how to do Blender. So I kind of went into it, watching some tutorials, and I know CAD pretty well, 3D CAD, but never really worked much with a solid tool like this. Although I know most of the principles. Yeah. Okay, so you can make bunnies out of the stuff of nightmares. Yeah, we're showing some Mesh Mixer has a bunny feature. You can add a bunny to the program and go to town on it. So yeah, I was just playing with some of the tools, and then ended up with a pretty scary bunny from the Twilight Zone from the cornfield. It's pretty bad. So Blender here is free, and I don't know if Steve Mitchum's still around, but I know he was knows Blender, had to learn Blender. But it's a free software, a lot more complicated than Mesh Mixer. But basically what I did, I created the pipe, and you rotated a pipe. So you have, let's see, I think I still have that tool on here. Let's see if I had I might have deleted it. I'll show the original. But you basically make the pipe, and then you subtract the pipe from the part, and it's going to be a bend. You've got to get 90-degree bend here. So instead of just bending it randomly, you've got to stop here. You can put the pipe in, bend it down, And then what I did, I just subtracted, just cut out, made some rectangles here to cut this out. And I didn't really measure, but I guess I eyeballed it. We should really measure so you can fit the tube in here. So let's open up the original one. Let's see, open. I think I have the version before I trimmed everything out. Let's see, open here. Let's see if I still have the pipe here, the cylinder. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So what I did, I made a copy of that, but here's the cylinder that I drew, just the pipe. And that's kind of what you want it to look like. And then what I did, I just made a copy of that, and you're basically putting that pipe, and you're saying, hey, I've got a solid here. Subtract that out. Take that out. I had a little problem with the edge here, so I just put another rectangle going through. I did a sphere to take that out, but it got smart and said, well, actually, you just need to do a 45-degree chamfer there. So I'd taken that out. But Blender, there's tons of videos out there, so we can, I probably spent like I said, like 6 hours, but I watched all kinds of videos and tips and tricks, and there's a lot to the program. But once you learn it, it's pretty powerful. I want to be able to do some more things, so I can create things for to print for the 3D printer. I can do a lot of stuff in my CAD software, but if I want to do anything more artistic, or other than most simple and basic shapes, it's a lot easier to do it in a program like this. Although I know people do a lot of stuff in SolidWorks and do some really great stuff. So let me go back to the original file for the finished one. So let's go to open recent. So here's the one that's don't save. So I'm not going to show how to do Blender. I'm not very good at it. But if you want to plow into it and learn to do some simple things, it's not too bad. I mean, basically, if you want to, just for example, if you want to add a shape, you do mesh. Let's say we want to add a cube. It adds a cube. And let's make it 40, 45, I guess, or like this. Boom. And then you can keep making that cube bigger. And then here's that cube. So you're creating shapes here, and then I can move that cube around. Let's zoom out. So you're creating shapes and spheres and objects, and you're working that way. So once, yeah, definitely needed to wish that bunny back to the cornfield. Yeah, that was pretty scary. Yep. So once you've got this part made, you can export it into Cura. So let me go into Cura, and let me close this guy down, and I'll make this file available. So let's do don't save. So let's go into Cura. So if you got a 3D printer, there's Cura is one of the most popular pieces of software out there. It's free to download and use. It's made for Ultimaker brand of printers, but you can also use it for pretty much any 3D printer. So what we're doing here, this is my Sidewinder X1. It's showing it's nice. It shows you the size of that. The other Prusa has a slicer, which is really popular, and there's a couple other slicing softwares that are out there. Most of the people that had my printer started with Cura. It's kind of like a hobby group, or there's some great websites out there, and there's like a Facebook group for this printer, so they were all using Cura, and they had all the tips and tricks for that. So I started with that, but you can use whatever program you like. But Prusa is another free software. So let's see here. What's the other program? There's some pay programs that you can do too, like Slicer 3. I think they charge you for that, and Simplify 3D. But I learned Cura, and I'm sticking with it for now. It's getting the getting the job done. Yep. Oh, Mike said he's almost done. Yeah, God bless Mike is going to be tired. That's a long stream, but that's got to be a lot of fun. Fun being on with Doomcock. So let me just send him a quick thumbs up there. Yep. So what? He's going to need a break, I think, Mike. He's going to be streaming before he knows it's going to be time for his Monday night stream. So basically, what you do once you've got that part made, so we've got that stand. So what we can do here, just do open, and we're going to grab that stand. So let's grab the this version. Fix V2, I think, had the bigger. So you just open that up, and it's great. It just dumps that right on the print bed. And you can see that's the one with the raised M. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to let's just grab the original one just to compare it, to show everyone. So if I go here, let's hide those print settings so I can see better. So if I rotate that around, see how shallow that is? So it doesn't seem like much, and this looks better, I've got to say, aesthetically, but it didn't really print well. So that's why I did that version. The other one we can show too. If we do open, let's grab the recessed M. There we go. So you've got all three lined up. So what we could do is actually, print all three of these at once if you wanted to. It's going to take a lot longer. Or for something like this, I would say, you'd print one the first time and see how it comes out. And if you want to print, a batch of 8, you can do, print all 8 at one time. One of the biggest problems I've found is, if you're printing something really complicated, you're not going to want to print, too many at once. Even though I could probably print like, say 30 or 40 on this print bed. But if something goes wrong or something bad happens to one of those prints, and believe me, with 3D printing, it happens more often than you'd like, then all 30 would go bad. So you're probably better off, printing like maybe 2 at a time or 4 at a time. Especially, how many Micronauts figures do you have? But I would say, printing that. Yeah. So Eric is saying, can you bring AutoCAD? Yep, definitely can bring AutoCAD into this. Yep. So if you save it as an STL or OBJ, so if I click open here, so it's going to show you supported file types here. So it's got all these file types, but you can bring a JPEG in, but that's doesn't have any dimensions to it. That would be more if you were doing something artistic on there. But normally I use STL file. You can also use let's see, is OBJ on here? Yeah, and also do OBJ. And you could do export and see how it comes out on your whatever your software you're using. So if you're using AutoCAD, you can see if what version gives you the best results. But usually I found that STL, which is actually a bunch of triangles, actually works, seems to work the best. And of course, if you got the file in your your 3D program, you can always go keep exporting and trying to tweak it and see how things work, how it works out. So let's see, I can grab let's see so we've got the STL there. Yep. So in Cure, I'm just going to show some of the basic stuff. There's tons of videos out there, and there's some great channels dedicated to 3D printing. But this is kind of like, how do I get this? If I had this getting started, I want to print this stand. How would I do it? So in Cura, you click this button here to change your settings. And what's nice in this version, they actually showed you you can click the hamburger menu here. I can do like every setting there is, and it's going to be super confusing. But what's nice, if you're just starting out, you can just click this button here and do basic. And it's going to get rid of all the settings that you really don't need to mess with. So I'll go through these settings. So the most important one is layer height. So what we've got here is a 0.2 millimeter layer height. So you're going to print at 0.2. So that's standard quality. You could do super quality, dynamic, or low quality. Say you just wanted to print something really rough. And I printed these stands at 0.2. I tried one at Super, and it was a little bit better, but it took about an hour. So I'll show you the difference in that. But that's your most basic setting is your standard quality, which is your layer height. So if I click the super quality, you're going to say, and it warns you, oh, you've got these special settings. Do you want to keep your changes or discard your changes? So I'm going to keep my changes. And see now how the layer height went to 0.12. So it's going to be a lot finer layer quality. I'm just going to keep it at 0.20 for the second. Wall thickness. You can just leave all the defaults for things like this, and as you tweak things and you learn things, you run into problems printing. You can change things like the top layer, the bottom layer. But I'd say the most in the beginning you don't even need to look at those. Standard quality and infill is the most one of the most important ones. So what that does, that shows you how solid the 3D print is. So I'm printing only at 10%. If you do 100%, it's solid. 10% is not as strong, but for something like this, it doesn't matter. So that way you're not using too much material and you're not wasting time. The speed, this printer is 60 millimeters per second. I'm not even changing that. Retraction, that's when the filament is moving up and up when the nozzle's moving. Just as you learn about 3D printing, you'll 99% of the time you're going to enable these. You never have to touch them. These are the most basic things. Cooling, you're going to want print cooling on. If you're printing a different material, you might not want print cooling, but you're just leave that on. And so those the basic settings really. When I first started, I just did layer height and infill. I just played with that. I didn't touch anything else. Build plate adhesion. What that does, it's showing how the part sticks. So this is a pretty wide part, and it's not a big tall part. So what it's doing, it's got just a brim. It's got a brim on it, or you can do a skirt. So you can do a skirt where it's just actually going around the nozzle. Excuse me, it's going around the part and not touching the part. So what I'll do here, and then the other thing is the support that's important. So that's say if you had a part that's really tall and had an overhang, there's no support needed here, but I'll pull in another part to show. But certain parts would need a support. So then all you do here, let's see, this is a little bit big here. So you click slice. So what the computer's doing now, the program's doing, it's calculating how it would actually print that. So if you go here and I click play, it's going to show you that's the last layer. If I go down, it's going to show, let me zoom in so we can see that better. It's going to show you each layer as it prints and how it creates the part. And that's the infill there. Oh, Mike's here. Wow. Let me add Mike to the stream. Hey, Mike.
Hey, man, I'm so sorry.
No, you didn't have to. I just said if you wanted to hop on,
Oh no, man.
I appreciate you being here.
That was a 6-hour stretch right there we just did.
Oh my God, you okay? I mean, I can't.
Oh yeah, I had to stand up for a second there a couple times, and we had a big panel. This was his first night doing this. He's going to have smaller panels. He didn't really want to have a big panel, but he had a bunch of us there. But it went great. We had over like 1,700 people there at some point watching, and everyone was ranting and raving about how much they loved the panel and stuff. And of course, everyone fell in love with Racquel, but we all love Racquel.
So she was getting some nice comments, and you as well. So yeah, congrats on hitting that 1,000 subs, which is awesome.
Well, thank you, buddy. I'm shocked. I'm overwhelmed by it. I'm gonna have to make a video tomorrow expressing all my thanks, because I couldn't even, if I had to tag all the people that I want to thank, it would take forever. I couldn't, a bunch of tweets on Twitter. So
yeah, no, that's amazing.
Thank you, buddy.
I mean, you should have been there. So I made the joke like, I don't know, you should have been there a lot earlier. I don't know what people are thinking, but no, I'm glad you finally got there.
We'll see if I put the app in. So
yeah, it'll you apply for apply to that. Great. Yeah, no, that's awesome. Yeah. So my mother-in-law subscribed to you today. My wife did.
Actually,
my mother-in-law is a huge TNG fan, so I was it sound late for her, but I got to get her to watch the stream, and maybe Grammy will if she's watching. If she's not watching now, I can tell you, but I got to get her on one of the streams. But you know, what was fun was I got her to watch. You know how much I love Star Trek, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. So when TNG was on, I'm always trying to get people to watch Trek. So I'm like, well, and then she's an English teacher, which was funny with Raquel last night. But so I said he's a Shakespearean actor. I'm like, Grammy, you got to watch Patrick Stewart on Star Trek. She's like, why am I going to watch this sci-fi stuff? And she fell in love with the guy. So the joke was, I don't know if Grampy is getting a little jealous here. So I would always get her. There's a moratorium now, but I was buying her, Picard action figures for Christmas and birthday and, all these things. So and like a little plaque. And then I did like a 3D print for his bust, a Picard bust. And yeah, I mean, with TNG was just, clunkers in the beginning, but then it really, hits its stride.
Yeah,
so
it does. It does.
I was a little generous last night, maybe in some of my reviews, but maybe some nostalgia.
You were generous, man. You were like the Santa Claus of reviewers, buddy. For some of them.
Yeah. Well, I
did
think
you ever get a really low? What was your lowest?
I did get alternative factor. I think I gave a D-.
Wow.
And then all the children shall lead. Oh, I mean, but those are those are I think we had one who liked alternative factor. It was one person liked alternative factor.
Moody.
Wes Moody liked it.
We did. In fact, that after we did that review, I thought he was trolling us when he popped in. It's the first and only time he's ever been there for Saturday Night Star Trek, and he was, he was disputing us, and I thought he was just kidding because it's perfectly fine if you disagree, but I really honestly thought he was teasing us. So he was saying acted like it was great, and then he had me on his Tuesday night Trek, and right after that, so we could talk about it. And I wasn't trying to be disrespectful or either. I was like, okay, so you really do like it? Okay, that's cool. I mean, it's fine. But I got to be honest with you. I thought he was kidding me. And he's a good dude. I like Wes Moody. He's a nice guy. I think I like him a lot. I watch his channel. But I kind of thought he was kidding me, which, again, it's perfectly fine to like it.
Yeah. Hey, Canadian Spider-Man. Great to see you. Thanks for swinging in.
Spider-Man, buddy. The great Eric K. Dadman walking. All right, man.
And Dadman is going to be doing a channel too. I think he said he's got a.
Oh really?
Yep, he's getting ready to do a channel too, which will be fun. Yep. So.
Dude, well, we will plug it for you, bro.
Yep, we'll definitely plug that. Yep.
Yes. So
yep. Great to see. Yep. Yeah. I got all this geek stuff to show, or nerd stuff. Excuse me. I gotta use the right terminology.
I don't know. Is it? No, wait a minute. Did we get a clarification from? Did we get Raquel to okay that you called it nerd stuff?
Yeah, I gotta watch out. It's getting late here, so I gotta make it. Well, it was funny because what I did, I knew I wasn't gonna be there. We had a fun '80s party that I went to the other night.
Nice.
Which is a lot of fun. So what I did was. Mrs. D, she got a Madonna outfit. So I'm like, what the heck am I going to do? Like, I didn't plan on anything. And I kind of had a brain freeze and I'm like, wait, I got my Wrath of Khan shirt. So I grabbed I'm like, that's 80s, right? So
yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
That works, man.
So I grabbed my Wrath of Khan shirt. Well, here, what the heck? I might as well show where's my photo with my Wrath of Khan shirt. And so I went to the '80s party, and and then there were a lot. What was fun too. There were a lot of wrestlers too, like people dressed.
Oh, cool.
They had one couple dressed. The husband was Roddy Piper, and the wife was Ultimate Warrior, which was great. Nice. So let's see. No, the picture's not zooming in.
I saw that shirt you had though. Damn cool, man. I like it. Did you get it back then?
No, it's actually a new shirt I got on Amazon. So
cool. Because there wasn't a lot of geek shirts floating around back then. I mean, they existed, but I mean, I had a Trek shirt that was really colorful. It was the original series, of course, and I had a John Sable freelance shirt based on the comic book John Sable that I liked. And I had a Blake 7 shirt, believe it or not. I had a shirt here and there, but a lot of times I had my friend Claude airbrush them for me.
Yep.
Like when I went to see Trek 3 that first morning.
Yeah, you make a custom.
I had him customize a Star Trek 3 shirt for me.
Nice.
And I had him make a Ghostbuster shirt for me when we were excited about that. And you know which one? The weirdest one I had made was I used to love Danger Mouse. So I had the white turtleneck T-shirt thingy, and I had him put the DM. You see Danger Mouse? He's all white.
Yeah. Danger.
Of course, I was actually skinny back then, and so I had I had the DM on there on the shirt.
Nice.
So stupid, but I love Danger Mouse.
And then I got, you can't really see it. I don't want to zoom in too much, but I've got a Star Trek watch on off the show.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's pretty cool. So, that was a fun. I don't know if Mrs. Deal is it. Dad, that's right. Yeah, Dad went to bed, but yeah. And I don't think I'll get in too much trouble. Show one other picture. We had, no one knows who these people are. So, where's someone dressed up as He-Man? Let's see, where's my He-Man?
Really? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. But people, everything 80s. I'm like, what? And then what I should have done is like brought my Atari and I had like a little mini projector and like set it up. Like brought my Atari screen down there to play. Let's see, if I can find that photo. So the guy dressed, a couple of people dressed up as He-Man. It was really awesome. And a lot of wrestlers and a lot of people just wore concert shirts and of course that was my decade in high school in the 80s. So. It's kind of weird now. That's the retro party.
Of course,
living it.
Eric K. Nickelodeon ran Danger Mouse in the early '80s, and I just freaked out over it. I loved it so much. Remember Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
The first time I saw Nickelodeon was like 1979, and it was at a Disney resort for Disney World, and I'd never seen. It was right before we got the channel here. And the first show I saw, and you could find it on YouTube, called Video Comics, where they would show really old comics, and they would show the panel, and they would read the comic.
Cool.
Didn't last long, but I was like, "Oh my God, this is comics! What the hell?" And the first one was like the Green Lantern, the origin of the Guardians of the Universe with with Krona and stuff.
Wow.
Why do I remember that?
You got a good memory for that stuff. Yeah.
I got a lousy memory. Here we go.
My friends won't matter, but the guy dressed up as He-Man and She-Ra.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Nice, yeah. So, and everyone's asking, like, well, who's the girl? I'm like, you don't know who She-Ra is? Come on. Get with it.
She-Ra?
Come on. So it turned out to be a fun, really fun party. And then, then I made it to, the end of Saturday Night Trek. So I was getting at that too was, when I watch these shows, I take like, rough notes or whatever. I just, write down things that I think are, going to be funny in the episode, or especially if I watch it beginning of the week and my memory's not what it once was. So, write, and then I'll like, do that. And I'll write down like, kind of what my review was going to be a little bit, and I'll change it during the show, whatever I want, but for fun. So I sent that to Raquel. I'm like, here's my, my rough notes. And then I guess she read, I didn't listen to the beginning of the show yet, but I guess then she was reading last time when I was on, then she was reading my notes. She's like, I had misspellings and like scene, I spelled wrong. I spelled it, SCENE instead of, SEE. So the grammar police were after me last night. So I was laughing. But,
yeah, she was after you, but like they got the siren going.
Yeah.
Pull over to the side of the road and please have your grammar registration, grammar license, and grammar and ready.
Yeah. Show us your papers. Yeah.
Hey, Raquel. Number one.
Hey, Raquel. That was great. You and Clobby were awesome on Doomcock. Everyone was great on that. I was listening for most of the time, and it was a lot of fun. It was great to listen. Although I don't think Doomcock likes the TMP that much.
No, he does not like the motion picture that much.
So I was waiting for Raquel. Yeah, you were great, but I was waiting for Raquel to show. Doomcock is right. What's the joke? 99% of the time, but maybe show him. Show them the errors of his ways. The big news is it's coming out on 4K. So
I don't have a 4K thingy. I just want the Blu-ray of the director's cut.
Yeah, but it'll probably be It'll probably be both, though. It'll give you both. It'll, when you buy it, they give you the Blu-ray and the 4K.
Do they?
So
yeah. That once before. Yeah, I never bought a 4K.
Yeah, so all I'm buying now, I'm a 4K snob. So I'm buying. Well, of course, I own so many damn movies too. So most new movies are garbage, but like if it's in my top 100, and that's my rule. If it's in my top 100, which kind of changes, I'll buy the 4K. Of that, like I love Unforgiven. I think that was the first 4K Blu-ray that was out. I think actually was Unforgiven, and of course I had the I finally got I get to get a TV every 10 years. So finally, when I turned 50, I was the bargain with Mrs. D. So I got the 4K TV when I turned 50.
I'm telling you, dude. And the award for most understanding wife in the entire universe goes to Mrs. D.
Yes, with all this stuff. Yeah, God bless her. Yeah. So but the thing is, I always tell the story when my first computer had a Sound Blaster 16. This is old geek, computer stuff. I had to buy a Sound Blaster 16 sound card separate because, of course, your computer didn't have sound way back in the Stone Ages. And I think it was like $400 or $600. You bought the sound card with the CD player just to play CDs. And then I remember getting the first DVD player in my computer, where you had to buy like another special package or thing. You couldn't just go out and buy like a regular DVD player from remembering.
Yeah,
correct. You had to get it like in a computer first. They didn't even sell DVD. And I remember.
Oh, really? Wow. Because I remember my first DVD was expensive.
Yeah, so this was even more expensive. It was in the computer. And so I think the video store had like 5 DVDs for rent. And the first one I rented was RoboCop. It was the first one I saw.
Nice.
And then you're looking like, yeah, this is pretty sharp. But DVDs aren't, that sharp compared. Well, of course, it's a big improvement over VHS. And then I finally upgraded to like a Blu-ray years later when it came out. And I've got, everyone bought, you probably own a ton of movies. I'm guessing, right? Ton of DVDs, or like most people.
Quite a few do. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, I would buy movie. I bought so many movies. I remember buying a tool just to I still have it to like open DVD packages. Like you could buy. That's how popular DVDs were, and they were so cheap too. Like at one point, they were $5, $10 or bargain bin.
My DVD was a recorder as well.
Yeah. So you could record.
So I'd record stuff on DVD all the time.
Yeah, so it's I'd record. I had a TiVo that I could record, and I would record shows to that, and you'd make copies of stuff. And
I just remember the first DVD I bought because I bought it with my first player. I don't know if it was Circuit City or whatever where I got it. It wasn't cheap, but I think Who Framed Roger Rabbit was the first DVD I got.
That was your first one, yep.
Man, I love that.
Never forget your first. Yep, that's a great movie.
I could be misremembering it, but I think it might have been. And I love that film. Still have that DVD, even though I also have it like in 2 other Blu-rays now. That same movie.
So, and then what I remember seeing, Blu-rays are out, and I'm like, is it going to be really that much better? And I had, what did I have? It was my first Blu-ray was Blade Runner. I think I bought that suitcase with all the cool stuff in it.
Oh, okay.
Blade Runner. And there's a scene in the beginning where they're flying by a pyramid, and on the DVD, it's like the lights are all fuzzy. It's just like a futuristic looking building, and then I hooked up the Blu-ray player, and it's sharp as can be, and all the lights are like pinpoints, and I'm like, mother effers, that means I gotta get into this format. And so I was so mad to see like how much of a difference. But of course, like if you're watching a comedy, like as much as I love Blues Brothers, do I need to see Blues Brothers in 4K? Although I did buy it in 4K. It's certain like a Star Trek or TMP. That's why it's going to be so awesome to get that, in Blu-ray and then in 4K, because it's as good as the movie is, it's going to just be that much better, and I can just rewind that Enterprise scene over and over and over again.
I love it. Yes, indeed, man. Oh, God, love of Shrek. Canadian Spider, man. Appreciate those nice words, man. And so 735, and I got that from Raquel. As she said, that's if you sat down to watch all of the real Trek from 64 to 2005, it would be segments in terms of like episodes and movies and all. It would tally up to that number, 735. That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah.
We're going to review it all.
Well, I had a request though. Raquel kicked me under the desk though for that. I said 735 and a half if you add Galaxy Quest. That could be like the final show, right? It's like
if you're going to play that game, then you got to add 2 seasons of the Orville because that's real Trek.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Well, the Orville's fantastic too.
I love Galaxy Quest, but it's not really Trek. I mean, it's a spoof. It has but I mean, it has the heart of Trek, which is why it's so good. At the heart of, or it has kind of the cleverness of Trek in a sense, at least. Yeah, and
it really hits home in the end when the aliens are really they've got a human quality to them when you finally realize what's it's a joke in the beginning, but then it's not a joke in the end.
Yeah, I love it. All right, Canadian Spider-Man has to run. Canadian Spidey, you the man.
Good night, Canadian Spider-Man. I appreciate you stopping by. It's pretty it kicks an ass. Yeah.
One of us has been kicked. One of us has been, maybe both of us has been kicked out of the
Well, we don't want to watch. We don't want that Saturday night show to end. But I'm sure you guys will find another iteration. How did you calculate? I'm sure the first officers calculated how long it's going to take to go through everything.
You're the engineer and she's the academic. I'm the dumbass in kindergarten. So I'm gonna need your engineering prowess or hers to figure out how long this is going to take because I can't do it.
Yeah, that'll be a while, but it's good fun. Yeah,
you could. What if you could do it? I could.
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll crunch it. Yeah,
I appreciate it.
But we'll have to have a big party at the end, or show Galaxy Quest now kicked in. Well,
that was we could.
But that's what we figured out that we're gonna have 3 kids in college at the same time, and Mrs. D worked out a spreadsheet. Just the graph. She's like, crap, we're gonna have 3 kids in college at the same time, which was last year. And I remember we were figuring that out 15 years ago or so, then we were figuring better start saving some extra stuff. Yeah. But Galaxy Quest was that was another funny with Mrs. D. We're watching the movie and I got her to watch it. I don't know how. She's not a big genre sci-fi fan, but she'll watch the stuff, but not over and over. And she's like, the guy, the kid asked for the captain is asking for the blueprints. They need the blueprints of the ship. And she's like, what kind of nerd would have blueprints of a TV show spaceship? So I went over to our shelf. I'm like, well, you married one of them.
Oh God!
And I had the NC, the TNG ship, the blueprints on the ship, that nice box of you could buy it back then. The D blueprints were really, really nice. Yeah. So
exactly. I don't have them anymore, but I had the blueprints. I still had I had the Starfleet technical manual. I may still have it somewhere. The old one from the 70s.
I think I have. I didn't have the one from the 70s. I had the newer Okuda, probably the newer Okuda one.
I thought that may have been destroyed in one of the hurricanes, but I got I still have my Doctor Who technical manual from the 70s, which is really a dumb idea because Doctor Who isn't technical like Star Trek. But
yeah,
I still love it because it's from the Tom Baker era,
So they're showing the TARDIS and K9.
Well, yeah, and it's kind of like one of those British annuals. It's kind of thin, but I still actually have that for some reason.
Well, that's cool stuff. Yeah, because the first book I had on Star Trek, one of the making of books, it was the Whitfield book, or it was a small paperback, but it had pictures of the bridge and dimension. Oh, yeah. Engineering, I love dimension. So, and it showed the Enterprise is as long as 400 feet or 435 feet, whatever. I could be wrong.
Was that the World of Star Trek?
Yeah, maybe it was a World of Star, but it was a tiny little paperback. But I remember getting it and with the pictures and then actually with dimensions and real world, and and the sets and showing how big the ship was. For a nerd like me, I was like, that was so cool just to see what the size of the ship was. So that was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yep.
Well, so Go ahead. What you got going on?
Well, I was going to say this was the nerd stuff I was showing was the Micronaut, how to 3D print Micronaut stuff. So this is really I don't want to say the wrong thing. This is really nerdy. I think not geeky.
So were you making stands for the figures or what?
Yeah, stands for the figures. Yep. So what this is doing is showing how let me hide this section here. So it's really cool. So it's showing you how the nozzle will go around, and it's actually showing you how. So you've got that little think of it like an iron that's like melting plastic, and so it's just I can go around faster. So it's going to go showing you each level it's just additive. So it just does each level one at a time. So then you can. Yep. So you're going. You're zooming. You're zooming up, nerd. Yep. So you're zooming up, and then you're making your stand like that. So and then you could save. You save that to the disk. So for some of the stuff that I've been, I got some surprises for Racquel going in that box. So a couple things I'll show later how I printed them. But and maybe something for your birthday too. We'll see what falls in the box. You never know. But the fun thing about it, this stuff isn't even expensive to do. It's it's more like once you know how to do it. Like the plastic is really cheap, so it's not so much like everyone always asks how much is a plastic. It's really not that. It's very very. You get a lot out of reel is like $20, so you can print a lot of stuff for. Initially, I was worried that it was going to be very, very expensive, but it's not. It's not bad. Yep.
Nice. Can you?
Yeah.
Can you make those stands, the ones that hold them, where it looks like a character's flying and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. You could actually do that with this too.
Those suckers are I mean, I don't know if they're super expensive, but yeah, one of them's like what, $5-6 or more now, maybe more than that. And if you want to have a bunch of figures, Jesus, it adds up.
Oh yeah. Oh, Jed needs a link. Let me get Jed a link. Yep, he's asking.
Does he?
Yep. Let me get. I thought everyone was asleep. Well, Jed, I don't know if Jed's watching it. I thought everyone was be asleep by now, but we got the late night crowd here.
And I gotta be on Loki's show at first thing in the morning, 8 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. your time.
Loki's God! Yeah,
Loki's gonna have me on. I mean, he's such Loki's been such a good friend. He's a great dude, and he's in the midst of moving. I thought he wasn't gonna even do any YouTube this week, but he's such a great guy. Because of my 1,000 thing, he wanted to have me on to celebrate it. And I'm like, dude, you don't have to do that, but man, I love Loki. Loki,
he's great. Yeah,
great friend.
Oh, he's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so we won't go on too much longer, so you can get and it's already got late early here. At least you're an hour behind me, at least, so not too bad.
We did see Jay. We both now seen Jed's favorite movie though, and thank you for that, by the way, to keep me from going to the theater.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is better in the theater, I have to say, but if you can avoid it if you don't need to, but. Yeah, I think Black Widow. I didn't think it was that. I had fun in the movie. It's more. I always think it's more fun in the movie theater, but but was it a great movie? I mean, it was.
No,
it was. It wasn't great, but it wasn't horrible. I think people overreacted to it.
Way overreacted. Now, again, I don't love it as much as Mr. Pasha does because he really loved it. He was going back again and see it tonight, which. Yeah, if you love it, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I was well disposed towards it. I thought it was all right. It was fairly entertaining. Is there I'm going to get in trouble because I know she doesn't like the woke word, but I'm just trying to, I don't know whatever word to use. Does it have a lot of woke crap in it? Yes. A little bit. Those tropes are there, but they're fairly marginal. They're at a minimum.
Yeah, it wasn't, it wasn't that bad. I mean, and I'm more, I shouldn't say tolerant. What's the right word? I'm more open-minded in terms of let me see what it is.
Right.
I've seen way worse. Watch it first, then I'll decide.
Well, it's seen way worse, dude. It doesn't. It's not there are things in there, but it's not to the point that it really damages the film. And the film has a lot of pretty good character stuff in it. I was really taken by some of the character stuff. And again, you can say what you want about the woke elements that are in there, and I hate what they did to Taskmaster, but the fact is, she's not. The characters themselves are written like characters, not ciphers. There's no Mary Sue crap in there, and Black Widow gets the crap kicked out of her in this thing.
Yeah.
And the women, sure, the men are all dopes, but for the most part, the women are they're not invincible. I mean, they're tough, and they're fighting and all this kind of stuff, but they're as fallible as anyone else. They're bad and good, and actually mostly bad. There's really no heroes in this film.
Yeah,
that stuff. And do you think the Red Guardian thing is setting up something with, he's talking about how he met Captain America in the 80s?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that could have been a time travel sequence. Yeah, setting that up.
Or when the Steve Rogers who was around.
Yeah, because of what happened in Infinity War, he could have been around in the 80s, and that's why the guy says, "Oh, you're lying." And that was whole Endgame. Opening at Endgame. Thank you. Yeah, that whole opening scene was fantastic. I thought with the prison and setting up the character, and it was fun. And then he snaps the guy's arm. If you're squeamish, which I am, I didn't really want to see that, but
Yeah, and I don't like David Harbour. I think David Harbour's a freaking idiot. He says unbelievably stupid shit. He's a jerk off, but he did a pretty good job. Red Guardian's not really all that like that in the comic, but
But like you said, that's what my initial review, which was so much fun to be able to come on YouTube and just spout instead of and then a lot of people are Jed's here. I didn't see Jed. But hey Jed.
Who?
Brother
How's it going?
I wanted to say that so all YouTube can say it. Brother man, welcome to the 1,000 Club.
Well, thank you, bud. Appreciate that.
I will say this. You're like a real brother to me. You deserve it. Okay.
Oh, well, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
And I will admit that I said that to him when it was privately, but he is like a brother to me, so he deserves this. So
thank you, man. We're all part of the same team. I could have done it without all my good YouTube friends, man.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
Yep, upwards and onward. Yep.
I will say this. I will say Mike is my oldest friend out of the whole group that I know. So
I am old. It's true.
Yeah. Out of everybody in the, because I knew him over at Facebook. So yeah, and so.
We go back to the 70s.
Chat. Hello, chat. Hello, everybody. Raquel, Eric. And anybody else is in the chat, welcome and hello.
I think Canadian Spider-Man's here for the late night.
He had to run. I think he had to run. There he is. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
yeah. No, that's
cool.
That was 5 minutes ago. No, if he's still here, if he had to swing away,
okay.
To quote Red Guardian with the dumb Russian accent, I once battled Jed in the 80s. Captain America. The Russian accents were.
The accents, I'm sure, but.
I saw a Black Widow, Jed, and I actually didn't mind it too much. I thought it was okay.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, Clobby agreed with me. Yeah, see.
I thought it had a lot of good character stuff in it, at least. And when it's at its best when the character stuff. Now, like I was talking to Tom earlier on Dukecox, and he said he liked it until it got to that. He thought it fell apart toward the end. Huh. I didn't see it that much. I didn't mind the Fortress in the Sky stuff, and the stuff with Draco. I thought was pretty good. I mean, as on the whole, it's not a great film or anything, but it's not as bad as everyone said it was.
I would say, like I said the other night, and it's a minimum effort movie. There is some good stuff in there, but it's like minimum effort. It's not too bad, but it's not too good. It's just minimal, So
I thought the dinner scene. I really love the dinner scene.
That was good character stuff.
That was great character. Yeah. You don't see that enough. Where like when Natasha sits down,
they were some messed up people.
Yeah, and Melinda says, "Straighten up." But I'm not slouching. You slouch. You slouch. And it's like, instead of being like a talking about, well, we have to go get the bad guy now. And then you had them like acting like a family again, and then it was pretty touching when
they're a fake family. They're still a family. That's all they got. The only things I can say I hated about the movie. I hated what they did to Taskmaster, and I hated that stupid after credit sequence.
I
was just like, ugh.
Well, originally,
how does she know Barton is responsible? He's not responsible for her death anyway. But how would she know anything about that?
No one would know that, right?
Yeah.
How would they possibly? Did Barton go and tell the world what happened on that planet? This is just stupid crap.
Yeah,
I know. I was like, come on.
Well, originally, what I read they were going to do, they were just going to have her at the grave site, and then have her whistle, and then have a whistle in response, and just leave it like that hanging.
Okay.
So
anything would have been better than that.
Yeah, so you wouldn't have known who. You would have maybe thought that Natasha was alive again. So
how about have Jeremy Renner in that last scene? And he walks up because I know they're setting up that stupid Hawkeye show. Have him at least, if you're going to do that, have him walk up to her to that grave, to meet her, and have it instead of have some kind of garbage where she's going to go try to kill him now. But that's setting up that stupid show. And would it really killed them? Would it really have killed them to go ahead and said, look, let's get Chris Evans for a cameo at the end to come in and take her? See, they don't explain how she got away from Ross. And he would have arrested her. How about have Cap and Falcon come in and take her away? Because it takes place right about that point.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, that was the one scene. Oh,
that was really stupid.
They didn't explain what happened there.
He was going to arrest her. If she wouldn't met him, how did she get away from him?
Yeah, that was the one gap in the movie. Yep.
But I liked it. It was okay. I just didn't hate it. Everyone, look, sometimes, and Jed and Mark, you know how this kind of goes. You hear everybody, the whole zeitgeist says, everyone, it's garbage. And you hear that before you see it, because if you watch it beforehand, you don't get it. But then you watch it expecting garbage, then you go, well, I mean, it wasn't bad as they're saying. The woke crap that is in there is more negligible than in most films, but it's still, you can see some of it for sure. It's there, it's the MCU, but it's not nowhere near as bad as a lot of things like we've seen, like Loki or WandaVision or stuff, or Captain Winter Soldier. But it doesn't damage the film. The film itself is mainly your biggest criticism. You could be as kind of like, just the same old action stuff. Yeah. But I like the character stuff.
And I will say this: and like I said this on every other stream since it came out, if this would have came out right after Iron Man 2. That's where it should have been. It shouldn't have been after Endgame, because that's what killed it, kind of.
Or at least it was after Civil War.
At
least if it had come out after Civil War, would have been better than nothing.
Civil War. But it should have been either Iron Man 2 or Civil War, and that would have
minimum.
Right. But not until the end of the MCU, where it's the MCU now. So
I agree. But again, I just didn't think it was. I mean, it's 10 times better than Captain Marvel. And to be honest with you, I liked it better because I did not like Black Panther that much. I think this is a better movie than that.
Yeah, I said that during my initial review. I said, I like this better than Black Panther.
Because I don't like
better
Black
character
Panther,
moments.
Yep, and she's likable.
Yelena,
we've all liked her in those movies.
And Natasha,
and she does a pretty good job. I even like her sister, her so-called sister. She's okay. I like Red Guardian all right in this thing. I even like Rachel Weisz for what she gets to do. And the villain doesn't get much, but he's kind of a good villain, of course. But I don't know. I just found it to be decent, watchable. Certainly nothing going great, but the outrage on it's like, look, if you don't like it, it's cool. I can understand all the criticisms of it, but I think some people feel like they have to almost like they have to hate it.
Yeah, you gotta trash it.
Well, like I said before, I didn't absolutely hate it. There were just things that I hated.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Yeah. But even if you did really hate it, that's fine. If it's coming from an honest place, where you just thought it was crap, that's cool too. It just seems like
like I always say, it wasn't as bad as Captain Marvel, but it wasn't as good as, like I said, minimum effort. It was just in the middle.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's just. I just didn't think it was as bad as everyone said. But
it was minimum effort. That's not bad. Like, oh my god, no, it's just minimum. It's in the middle. You can say that.
But when I was watching in the movie theater, and I'm like, I was expecting it to be horrible, and the hype was it was gonna be horrible, and that's why I just said I'm going on YouTube and just saying what I thought that night, and I said I liked it, and I'm standing by that, and. Was it like, oh my God, I gotta, gonna go watch it, again or, multiple times over? No, but I mean, I would recommend people watch it and enjoy it. And, eventually it's going to be free on Disney Plus. And, like some people liked, was it Time Wars with Chris Pratt? And
Forever War. Oh, yeah.
Forever War.
Yeah, Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yes, I hated it. And Mrs. D also hated it too. So we both, hate's not the right word. We're just disappointed. It's just
it's not hate. Like
it's just
I have hate for The Last Jedi and all that.
Hate's
the wrong word, but
I didn't hate Black Widow. Like I said, and it's just it didn't go into the hate and it didn't go into like good. It's like middle. It was in the middle category.
But if you do hate it and it's coming from an honest place, I think that's fine. But it's just like some people seem like they feel like they have to, and they go along with this kind of group think. I just say watch it for yourself.
I got called out, and got called out, and he's like, "Why do you give your money to Disney?" I was like, "Dude, who says I gave money to Disney?" And they're like,
"No."
I was just like,
I
was like, "Yeah." Like, who says I'm actually, you don't know what I do you?
Well, yeah. I mean, when I barely just mentioned to my son the other day that I might go see it for $6 at the theater, he did all that shit to me about you got to give your money to Disney. He always messes with me about it.
Oh yeah, I got.
Then he friggin' watched it on a Discord with a bunch of guys last night. I said, "Oh, you're talking to me about watching the movie?"
Yeah,
you watched it.
Even when I watch Loki every week to give people the impressions, they're like, "You're giving money to Disney?" I was like, "Dude, we get Disney Plus for free. It's with our plan. We don't pay for it."
I use someone else. I use my daughter's code. My daughter's code.
Like it was with I think with our phone plan or something, or we get it for free. We don't pay for it.
Yeah, it's with AT&T. Yeah.
Yeah, like your son. So
yeah. Well, Eric K has a good point here. Tomorrow morning, you all need to disconnect your brain. Yeah, pick up out the story if you let yourself think about it. Yeah, it's a good fun if you can do through that. But it's almost like that's what I said. It was like a Godzilla versus King Kong. Just watch the action scenes. I mean, it didn't.
I kind of like that. I kind of like Godzilla versus King Kong.
Somebody brought that up today.
No, but I'm just like the fight cut. So it was like 45 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, I like
all
the fight cut. I want to see the fight cut.
Yeah. So with
I want
this,
to see the fight cut too.
Yeah.
So like with this movie, they're sending people into like a video game, and they're not training them, and they're like Eric's saying, there's a lot of stuff you can pick apart. The one thing I didn't like was the creatures weren't powerful enough, I thought, to take over the world. So if you a battalion of M1 tanks or armored, heavily armored vehicles, eventually you're gonna, you should be able to take these suckers out. But
I might watch it.
It's worth watching.
What King Kong versus?
No, the Tomorrow War.
War. Have you seen that?
You might like it. It's worth. I'd say it's worth watching. You see it, Jed, or?
You see it, Jed?
Yeah. No, I haven't. I've seen parts of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing yet.
It's on Amazon, so I might watch it.
Yeah, I mean, is it great? But I really didn't like it at all. I wouldn't watch it again. But just because of the story,
I don't have Amazon.
Yeah. So.
But it wasn't. There was nothing woke in it, or there was nothing in it where you'd say it was just more of a story. Which was. Which I think someone mentioned on Doomcock's stream tonight that you guys were on. You could just talk about why you didn't like a movie, not not the elements in the movie, or just something like that. So
I do agree with what Eric K. Was it Raquel said it, or Eric K. said that she was good in The Mummy? Yeah, she was excellent.
Oh, great in The Mummy.
Yeah.
I love her. Oh, she's fantastic. I mean, she's good in this. I thought.
She was good. Yeah, and that scene at the dinner table again was funny when they're kind of rekindling their always red cars like
evil.
I've been in prison for 20 years. I've got a lot of pent up energy or something, and she kind of smiled. I was like, I was laughing.
I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, the character stuff was pretty good. I don't. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to say that maybe it's that the ending, I don't mind the ending much, but I mean, it's kind of just an action flick that you've seen it all before, like the Bond type thing in a lot of ways. I loved it. I loved the scene when she was watching Moonraker.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, and then they later they put that scene where everyone was complaining about them falling.
Yeah,
some people would complain. I heard some of the guys complaining.
I did say one thing about that because there's a part where she goes immediately through the square door, and I was like, "Oh, come on." You know what I'm saying?
When they're falling with the stuff, I'm like, well, it's a Marvel movie. Who cares about gravity?
I was just like,
But that's also almost like an homage.
I did a little bit of grimace, but I was like, okay.
It's almost an homage to Moonraker. The opening bit in Moonraker when Bond falls, gets knocked out of the airplane by Jaws without a parachute.
Yeah, with no parachute.
Here's the thing: I love Moonraker.
I love Moonraker.
That's one of my favorite Bond movies. Yeah,
it's ridiculous, but I love it.
Yep. Well, let me finish going through this print. So This is a stand here. So what we're doing here is just showing how you can print the beginning of the video I show how this is a Toy Polloi design, so I don't want to take credit for this. I've got all the links here. But what I did, I edited a little bit and I fixed the part. There were some errors in it, and might have been just the way it was saved to his website. So I've just got that ready to. So what you're doing here, you're just showing each layer, so which is really cool. And you do a 3D printer, it's showing you how that's building it up. So for something like this, I did. So you've got infill 10%. Let's say we make 50%, just to show everyone, and just slice that again. So it's making it really a dense part. So see how those cubes got really small in there, but it's going to take longer to print. But for something like this, you don't need anything really really that's strong, so you can get away with 10%. So I used like a clear material, and then for this one I did concentric. So I'll show you what that looks like. This is all nerd stuff, but so the inside of the part looked a little bit neater, and I'll show the finished part so you can see why that mattered. So it's I used a see-through material, so it actually looked better by having those patterns there. And then what I'd done, I'd made the M a little bit higher, and I'd also made an M where it was reversed. So it was reversed there. So there's all these settings and things. You could spend hours trying to tweak it, but these are just the most simple settings. So what you do, you save it to the disk, and then you tell it to print on the 3D printer. So I think I've shown everyone printing on the 3D printer, but let me pull that up. So let me grab. Go to my 3D printer, which is
Muslim Uncle. How did you like it? He said he just finished Black Widow.
Yep. What did he?
How did
see
you
what
like
he
it?
says? Is he typing it in yet?
Yeah, it's Eric K. He's saying hi and stuff.
Yep.
Well, go on with that while you're doing.
Yeah,
this.
I'm pulling this over. Yep. So then what you can do here is actually, I've got my 3D printer that I'm connected to, and I can tell it to print. So I can grab the stand here, and then let's see. Here's the this version here. So I can load that up right into my 3D printer. I can tell it to preheat, and it's going to just take a half hour to print. And so right now the 3D printer is going to start. You'll see the graph is changing. It's starting to warm up.
Mm-hmm.
And once it warms up and hits the temperature, it's going to be ready to print. So I can just click the print button here. And this is kind of like a Star Trek sci-fi thing. So now I'm about 15. This printer's at work, so I'm actually printing.
Wait,
printing.
Do you got the stuff in there already at work?
Yep. So I got the stuff at work, and this is all. It's all ready. Hello, computer. Yep.
Hello, computer.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back, Raquel. What kind of sandwich? Yeah, she's like, the joys of wireless headphones. Yeah, wireless headphones are awesome if you can find ones that don't kill.
Oh, they are.
Some of them are awesome, but I had a pair that just died on me in about an hour or two in.
Yeah, you gotta have the ones that last long for sure.
Yeah, I just do wireless ones. So
we got
wired ones. Yeah.
We got asked on Doomcock tonight, what is the perfect sandwich? I wonder if she wouldn't make the perfect sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, she probably does make a good sandwich. No, Raquel, because Raquel has good. I will say this: Raquel has good taste in food, and I knew this from what she sent Nick. And I was in that chat. Yeah, I was in that chat, and Raquel, and I was like, yeah, I love that stuff. And Raquel, so I know Raquel has good taste in food.
That's fun. Yep. So now we've got. Let's see if there we go.
Yeah, he responded, Mark.
Oh, let me see what he's got here. Okay, here we go. I'll blow it up, please. Yep, let's blow this picture up as we're. Yep.
Okay. Good.
You got it, Claudia. Yep. Yeah, you go. Go for it. Yep.
It could have stayed in the Daredevil seriousness that her character deserves. And she once shared a comic book with Daredevil, as you know. Too many Marvel yucks, and they did have a few of those. Yeah, not as many as some of the films, but I'm here. Captain Embarrassment could have been good. I think he means Red Guardian at least once. I don't know. I'm not sure who he means. I think he means Red Guardian. Taskmaster could have been male.
Yeah.
I would change should have been. They should have just made it Tony Masters. Taskmaster was not Taskmaster.
One of the things that I saw this and I pointed this out. You do know there was a guy in the outfit and they just cut out the guy's face and put a woman's face in.
I thought that too when I first watched it.
Yeah, because
is that confirmed or is that confirmed?
Yeah, it's a confirmed thing. Somebody figured it out that there was a guy in the outfit, and what they did was just put a woman, whoever the actor was, they digitally put her face on the body because it didn't line up.
Well, actually, at the last scene when you watch it, where she's on the ground. Yeah, it looks like it's her in the suit, and her body looks totally different. And I don't think that was her there.
That's her.
She looked more feminine in the suit. Yeah,
it looks totally different. I think they pulled something in the middle of production where okay, it's gonna be a guy, and at the last minute they went and did reshoots, and they're like, oh, let's turn it into a woman because the scenes don't match up. You know what I'm saying? No, they don't. So I think there was some trickery going on around there.
Well, the villain in Ant-Man and Wasp. Was she? Did you always know that was a Ghost? She was a she, or a Ghost was a she, or was? You pretty much. I'm trying to remember now.
Ghost was a she in the comics too.
Yeah, in the comics, Ghost.
No, but do you remember in the movie? In the movie, they didn't.
No, not at first.
No, he didn't know.
You didn't know,
You could tell it was a woman.
But they didn't make it to the reveal at the end or anything.
But it's really not even Taskmaster. That's the whole thing. It's like people are upset. It's just in name only. In name only.
Do they even call him her Taskmaster?
I think at one point they do. Well, I know in the credits they do.
Okay.
I think they do. I think the father does at one point. And I thought it would have been cool if they'd said, "Oh well, she's mostly a cyborg or something." Explain the physique. Yeah. Because how would she be able to fight Red Guardian then too? I mean.
I pretty much turned her into a cyborg,
I just say there was a lot of fuckery going on. Seriously.
I actually like the idea of the Sky Fortress being in where they couldn't up in the sky like that. That's very Marvel comic. A lot of people bitched about that.
Yeah. Did you see that they did some of the covers when she came out the window? That was was it in the Rain comic where Black Widow came out? They actually did some of the scenes from the comic books. I noticed some of those. So you know what I'm talking about?
Not particularly, but I've heard they had. I mean, I'd have to see it again.
That scene where she's coming at the end, I think it was in the Rain comic book. I'm not sure.
When she's what now?
She comes out, where she flies out at the end. That was a cover from one of the comic books.
Oh, it could be. I'm not sure. Yes, Red Guardian. Yeah, it was kind of funny when she called Red Guardian the Crimson Dynamite.
The Crimson, I was laughing.
Uncle said something else. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's got it up there.
Yep.
Oh, if you want me to, but you can. It's your channel, man.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, hell, you still up?" Yep. I guess you no sleep for the streamers. Yep. Yes, Red Guardian. If it had been more serious, it would have been better. I was waiting for the ending for the last 10 minutes. I guess that's what I say. Yeah. So a lot of these movies too, they don't stick the ending. It's not just a lot of movies in general. So I'll give them a little slack for that. But I guess
they have a bad time sticking the endings to a lot of them.
Yeah.
So.
Endings aren't easy to write for some people, I guess.
Yeah. Yep, not easy. Yep.
Well, like I said, you know who's gonna be the ultimate big bad for the end of Loki? It's gonna be Loki himself. Probably. I keep saying that. I've said that for weeks now, and everybody goes, "Oh, you're full of shit. It's gonna be Krang or Doctor Doom." I'm like, no, it's gonna be Loki.
They have cast. But they have cast Kang, so it might happen.
Yeah,
Kang,
but okay,
probably
you know what they're gonna do? They're not gonna have him show up in a Disney Plus. They're gonna save that for a movie.
No, you're probably right. I'm just saying.
I know, but
they have cast him.
Yeah, I know.
But and he did create the TVA in the comic, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, you're probably. Look, I go with your theory. I'm just saying. You never know.
I will be shocked because what has
Me too.
Scarlet, WandaVision, and everything else told us?
Yeah. I actually liked that last episode, to be honest with you, because it was kind of funny. It was just
that was
better
good,
than all the other ones because Richard D. Grant and the friggin' alligator. I know it's stupid because it was dopey, nothing happened, but it was funny.
I was like, okay, that was I will say that was pretty cruel because he's like, I was like, why couldn't we have that before? You know?
Yep. Earlier on, do that in an earlier episode and go to that.
Yeah,
world
I was like, you gotta wait to the end to
right.
You know.
But go there by like the third episode and then make the rest of the story deal with all those different Lokis and something like that would have been better. Even if you have to have the stupid female Loki stuff, you would have been better if you dealt more with that than all that TVA crap.
Yeah. I never liked time travel. Yeah. But your Muslim uncle's got a good point here. Yeah. Family dynamic and sister relationship was good. Yeah. Definitely agree with that. If this would have been released before Endgame, death would have been devastating. Or it really fleshed out her character. I thought after Civil War, that would have, and I think it would have made bank too. I mean, it's actually doing allegedly pretty well, I guess.
And it would have done way better then, though.
Yeah. But they're saying that they made $60 million on people paying $30 to see it. Is that true?
The only way they've been making their money is through Disney Plus. It's not been from the theaters.
Yeah, but I heard that they made $60 million from Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus. So
But is that for people paying? Like if I subscribe to Disney Plus, or get it through AT&T for like $5 a month or $8, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But are they saying that $60 million was people paying $30? Because right now, if you go to Disney Plus, you have to pay $30 to see Black Widow. Yeah, to see it separately.
I don't believe it.
So I can't imagine that there's $60 million.
I can't believe.
But
I mean, I guess anything's possible, but I don't.
Well, you pay. What is it? Not $9 a month now for it.
Oh, I think isn't it like $15 for an HBO?
No,
well, that's if you get ESPN with it.
Yeah, it's
Hulu. There's like a package.
You get ESPN, Hulu, and Disney Plus.
Okay.
Yep.
So, but then you also got to pay the $30, and I was like, no, dude, I couldn't, I was just like, and I hate that. That's like, okay, that's like the video game industry where you buy the game and they're like, hey, we even though this should have been part of the game, here's an extra add-on for $30, and I'm like, what?
Or you just wait to see it. You wait to see it. Yeah.
Yeah, because
or you go to the movie theater for $6 if you really got to see it.
And then that's the reason why most of the time I wait for the Game of the Year editions or
they're cheaper.
The collective editions for the video games because they have all the content. Witcher 3 came out with everything in one pack.
Yeah, it was great. I got that. Yeah.
Yeah, so did Fallout 3 and New Vegas, and if you just have some patience. And they do that with all the Assassin's Creed games too. You just got to have some patience.
Yep.
Or still the high seas. So.
Yep. Well, let me get back to our. We're having fun talking about all this stuff, but let me get back to the Micronauts figure. How I did this, and then so we can finish talking about that. But so basically, what these figures have. This is that figure that I fixed, and what you can do here. This is called a pin gauge. This is nerd engineering stuff. So you've got a set of pin gauges. So what this is at work, so I have Vermont gauges are the best. I like Vermont gauges, but you've got a box like this, and everyone is a pin. They're dowel pins, and everyone is a different size, and it goes up by 1,000ths each way. So when you're doing machining work, you're trying to measure holes, or if you do some work, you want to see what size your hole is. They're expensive. So like this is $800 because they're precision stuff. So what I use, I have a machine shop. Thankfully it works. So this measures the hole is actually 5 millimeters. So what I did, I found, Raquel saying, please more nerd. Yep. So I found, measure the exact size because a hole like this, it's really tough to, it's tough to get in there and measure that size exactly. So here you can see that that's like a 196 gauge, whatever the gauge is. It translates to 5 millimeters. So then you measure that. So I think Toy Polloi said it was 4 millimeters. So I think these are 5 millimeters. And then you can actually buy like just a cheap set. These aren't that good, I'm sure, quality wise. But if you needed one or a cheap set, or you could buy, ones individually if you needed just a few, or if you're doing a project like this. But for doing like these Micronauts.
You're so young for Micronauts.
Yep.
No,
I wish I was. Yeah, I was born before the 70s. So
yeah, you're the right age for Micronauts. Yeah, and they're very different. They're very different from the comic Micronaut. I remember I saw the comic before I even got to see the toys that much. I never bought the toys because I wasn't buying toys at the time.
Yeah,
they're very different.
Oh yeah, very very different. Yeah.
I know you love the comic as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the comic.
Yeah.
I have
almost
the full run.
So if you've got 5 millimeters, some more nerd stuff. So that's 0.196. So I had a 0.196 gauge, and then I'm figuring that out. So what I did here, once I printed these, so I think I went backwards here. But let's once I printed these stands, what I did, you use the heat just the heat gun. Hairdryer is not going to be enough. You don't need to hear the heat gun. And I'll just go through quick, but you're just heating up these acrylic rods. So you heat that up, and I tried to use a fancy brake bending tool. Didn't really work that well because the pipe was a little bit too. You don't need to bend that much, so it's kind of tough to grab. So I'm just gonna fast forward through, but I was trying to heat it up and then bend it. Let's see here. But you can get a heat gun on Amazon now for, $15, $20. So it's a hair dryer on steroids, basically. So, really gets so much higher. Like a hair dryer,
I used to screw with the shrink wrap gun when I was at Blockbuster and stuff when I used to work there.
Yeah.
And at Pop Culture. We used to shrink wrap everything and screw. We had such nice tools and everything there. I used to love working there at Pop Culture and like Blockbuster and stuff with the shrink wrap gun. I even had a friend back when Tower Records was a thing. They had this huge one that was on rollers. You would shrink wrap, put it in the machine, it would go through on the rollers.
Yeah.
And it was industrial size. This one night, we I mask up all the time whenever we did it. He put one of our friends' purses in there, and they put it through like once or twice. And she came back. She's like, "You guys!" It was the manager.
Yeah.
She used to pull pranks on us all the time. Like one time, she put my backpack through, and like shrink wrap my whole backpack. Yeah.
That's funny. So here, let me just show this tool here is a brake bending tool. It's like for brake lines. So I was trying to use that. So what it is, it's instead of squashing the tube. So, but it's really, usually it's meant for, you never have like an angle like that. You've got more to the end. So it's tough to grab. But so I'll show you what I ended up printing. It worked okay, but not as good as I thought it would. You always want to use fancy tools, and Raquel's saying here too, we use a pin gauge, because you can't measure on the inside.
You can't breathe that stuff in either. Because,
So let's see, this is done. I think I was fixing, rebending this. Let's see. Then I just grabbed an old tester's bottle. Of course, my camera work's not the best here, but I think I've figured out how to move it. Move it after. So it was just, you can pretty much use anything to get your bend. But what happens is as you touch the plastic here, I should have been wearing gloves. It wasn't a little hot, but not too hot. You deform the plastic. Yeah. So then you gotta hit it with a file. But that wasn't a bad bend there.
Yeah.
But I'll show you
Yes, Raquel. I know. Whenever I did anything, I always wore a mask when you redid that stuff, because I learned from my grandfather about that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's my 3D, my printing booth there. So spray booth, yeah. So it's got a fan behind it, so it sucks everything out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see here. What's this video got? I should have edited these, but just play play through them. I think that's the same one again. Yep. So then here's the finished product. So,
which dude is this?
So this is time travel. No, this is Galactic Warrior.
Okay.
Time Traveler's plastic. So what I did I took a drill. I took a .199 drill and just drilled through these pieces here. So then the acrylic rod is actually, going all the way through. So then I could figure out, where I want to cut this to get the right height. And I use this nice translucent blue. I'll show you on the camera what I have here. But so you've got the rod, and then I just made a mark on the bottom. Pardon the pun. Mark making a mark, and then you just take your Dremel. Yep. And then you take the Dremel, and you just cut. You could use a small, bandsaw, or you got to use something kind of fine to cut that. Otherwise, it's gonna could crack on your splinter. And always wear safety goggles. So it's just that cutoff, that cutoff wheel on the Dremel. It doesn't take much to cut, and just cut through that, and then you can file it. I'm trying to go really slow there because you don't want to crack it. Yep. So yeah, so the bend, if you don't heat it up too much, the bend doesn't lose, get too cloudy, which is nice. So here's it's a stand. Toy Polloi, that was a great idea.
Toy Polloi, they're cool dudes.
They're great, yeah.
People.
So here's a bunch of the stand. You make a bunch of them together.
Yeah,
I tried to cool them in the water.
How did you? Yeah, because a lot of times what Raquel said, when you try to bend them, they get some clouded in it and they don't look as good.
Yeah.
That shows, and I can see this, and I've always that shows Mark knows what he's doing, and he's got this down. So
thank you.
I always praise my two brothers here, because I love them to death, because they know their stuff,
Thank you. Yep. So let me find this acrylic rod. Let me see what I think I had that. So it's 5mm acrylic rods. Yep. So you got to find the right size, and I think you can get up. I think I have them in the show notes too. But basically, you're just buying like these dowel rods here. Let me share the screen again. Share screen. And places like MSC, or there's also Amazon's probably the easiest for most people. These are too big, but you're just buying a package of these rods. You just got to get them 5mm, and like these are cool to use for model ships, or like I'm gonna use this for the Doomsday Machine. So So I have an Enterprise stand. I'll show you real quick that you're gonna put underneath the Doomsday Machine with one of these rods going into the Doomsday Machine, and that way it'll show because you don't want to have like you could do like a small metal rod too. That way you get a nice kind of invisible stand. So let me turn my camera on here. Do the other camera. Let's see. Start the camera. Let's see. Full screen here. So here's all the. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm a little bit further away from the mic. I got to get a mic stand that I can move around. But so here's all the stands that I did here. And I painted one closer here. This light on. Oh, battery on. I left the light on, so the light. Shut this light up.
Blinded by the light.
Yeah, well, the battery went dead on the light.
So
you
Mark,
guys tell me what you tell me what you like better. But so I did that one yellow.
Nice, I like it.
And then these are translucent. So I kind of always like blue. Toy Polloi did them in red. But you can do whatever you want. But see how you can see the pattern kind of through that.
Okay, nice.
But see how low that M is? Like you can't really see the M. So that's the original design from Toy Polloi. So I did in the beginning of the video. I showed how you could edit that and see how that M is showing up a lot better.
That you did a really good job at the end.
Thanks. Yeah, so I just raised it up so you can kind of see the. And of course, with the M for Mark, you want to be able to see that better. So I just experimented, and this one is the negative M, so it's a reverse, a cutout, so
Yeah.
like that, and then this one I didn't do the best job painting. This is just pretty rough, but I just said, oh, let me try that. The recessed one you can actually paint. So I had that painted. I got to do another coat. I figured the yellow, like the Wolverine, red and yellow would go together. So here's the figure that I fixed. So you can see there's that guy that I fixed, and then you just got the tube in there. And then bending these, I had the idea. I always want to have something, a better solution. So what I did, I made this block. It's really tough to see because of the black. But then what you do, you put your you heat up your rod. You put your rod in here, and then you just once that's heated up, you bend it over, so you're going to get the same exact shape, size every time.
Yeah.
So you've got that in here. So it's just like a bending tool. So I got to send that to Toy. I got to get in touch with Toy Polloi. I don't know if you got to get him want to give him the credit for everything, but it'd be fun to be able to send him this file or maybe some of these files. So Raquel's saying she doesn't like she likes the raised better. So
Which
one? She likes the raised M better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So you can see it. But that's what's fun about a 3D printer. Like, each of these parts probably cost like 5 cents. So it's not like you're wasting a big print job. Big thing. So it's fun to experiment with these and then see what comes out better. And then I was thinking of raising the end just a little bit more. And like this one is actually printed. You want to know, but that's printed 100% thickness or density.
Did you see on one of their was it one of their videos saw them talking about it on Toy Polloi or what?
Yeah. So it's a Toy Polloi video. So I saw them making it, but in the beginning of the video, I was talking about the scale of the model that he has on his website is not scaled correctly. So it's 0.08. So you have to scale it up, and then you had to. There was a lot of interference, and he had the different size rod. So what I did here, I made the hole bigger. I showed how to make the hole bigger, and then you can slide this. I made this so it clears all the way through, so it's easy to measure and then cut. You can just put a drop of glue once you have it like that. But he was spending a lot of time. I'm not trying to. He did a great job. I'm just saying. If you get these things sized right, you don't have to spend time filing them down. So it just saves you some labor. Of course, you're not making hundreds of these, but if you buy the 5mm and you make the hole here 5mm, so I made it 5.5 so it had some clearance, and then I drilled it out with a drill. Then it just it's less work. You don't have to sit with the file. And then with this part here. That should make it a lot easier to make and just bash out those parts a lot quicker. So all you do, you just you got the stand, you put the back of your time traveler, put that in, and you just put that right in the stand. And then you can adjust the height. You can just put a drop of glue in there. Different, yep. Yeah, you're Muslim uncle. Yeah, not specific to the Micronauts. I just I always kind of like blue. You can do whatever colors you like, or black, and Toy Polloi had the idea for doing a transparent color like this, which is kind of cool. If I take my flashlight, see how it's the camera's not the best, but how that goes through. And this was printed at 100%. There's no. You can see the light goes.
Oh, dude, that looks awesome.
With the light, it looks cool. But
yeah, going through the light looks pretty cool.
But this is a lot. This is a lot better like this. that one looks a lot better with the natural, natural the way it's printed. So that's the fun of the 3D machining. So yep. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Raquel's saying good for repeat. Yeah, if you want to make something, if you're making one or two, it's not so good. But yeah, if you have a part like that. So let me show what I've done here. Let me pull that that part up. So if I go into, it's called. Let's see, which program is that? It's not Mesh. That's Blender here. Open up the Blender. So let me pull Blender over. Show that again. So this is a more advanced, like Steve Mitchum uses Blender and all that, the fancy programs. So I'm a newbie at this stuff, but I want to learn how to Raquel said, stay in your mic. Yeah, I got to get a better mic stand that I can move around. So when I do this stuff,
I've told them that too. So.
Yeah. Well, I got to get one of those mobile, with one of those. I got to figure out how to get it attached to my desk. But yeah. So, or I got to get a lavalier mic for when I do that, or maybe another mic, a separate mic for the other desk. Yep. So here we go. Here, let me just show what this the tool that I made to do that. So this is the bending tool. You can see it a lot better on the screen here. So this is a 3D tool. Blender, and it's a pretty simple part, but this took me about 6 hours to make because I'm trying to teach myself the program, even though I know CAD, but it's just you're trying to learn something from scratch. So probably like Steve Mitchum could have done this in 60 seconds. It's pretty simple, but basically what you do, what's cool is you make the part, and then you remove the part with the pipe. So you have a pipe here, it's a negative, so you're making the mold, so you tell the program, take out the part from the other part. So what you can do here, the idea was you can put the plastic piece in and just bend it around. So let me open up the original one here. Let's see. Don't save. So you can see the pipe in here, the cylinder. Let me show that. Yeah, so everyone likes the transparent one. Yeah, I'll show those. Yeah,
transparent one is good.
Yeah, those are fun. Yep. So like here, say you want to take a piece out from another piece. Mm-hmm. So you can tell the program. You click on here and you say you're going to do a Boolean operation. You just tell it to remove one part from another. So it subtracts it, almost like you're machining it. So it's pretty simple idea, but it's not so simple to do sometimes. But here, let me see if I've got the other cylinder. Here we go. Here's the other. So what you do, you're telling the cylinder this piece was in the other piece. You just say, hey, remove that. So that's how you get that negative. So picture that piece together in that position. This is like a copy. You just say, hey, take one piece from the other. I can do it really quick in Mesh Mixer. Let me show you that, and then we'll pull that program up. It's in Mesh Mixer. So, and all these tools are free. It's just share.
Yeah, there is a lot of awesome.
There we go. So I was talking and have it up.
Mark,
not visible. Here we go.
On screen.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
Nothing on screen, brother. Okay.
There, can you see it now?
Yeah, you can see it now. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the part. So as I explained, you're like making a mold. You're taking one part away from the other. So here's the pipe. So picture that pipe, like I said in there, and you're telling it to separate. Take one part out from the other. So if I show you Mesh Mixer here, so I can do this pretty quickly, and I do import, and then we're going to import. Let's see, which was, I think this one here has it. So here's the stand here, and if I do show objects, yep. So here, if I do, I'm just going to do something really rough, but if I add you do a mesh mix here, you add a cylinder, you just drop it here, and I do create new object accept, and then I can transform this object. So I can, which is cool, you can move it up, and I can actually make it bigger. So let's go. So if I make it really big here, keep going. So now you've got this part sticking through. You'd never do this, you know, like make a hole here. There's no need for it. But say we wanted to make a hole here, right? So I'm going to move. Let's just go right here. Say we want a hole right here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select both of these. I should solidify it, but let's just see if it works. I'm going to do Boolean difference. It messed up there because the part wasn't solid, so let's undo that. So we're going to do this. We're going to transform, make solid, and then we're going to click this guy here, and we're going to make a solid.
Nice.
So it's really cool stuff that you can.
Yeah.
That you can do. And then
Well, I was doing some 3D work for before, you know, computer got into a bad state. I was doing some 3D work for an online game that you can actually build your stuff into. I was making chairs and clothing and everything else for the game that you could upload into. So So I love this part right here.
No,
and
it's really cool. Yeah.
I made a lightsaber, and I made a tricorder, I made a phaser, and a bunch of other stuff for the game.
No, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do, and it's all free. It's all free. Yep.
Yeah.
So it's you know, you just train yourself, and there's so many YouTube videos, but basically what you do, you just you know, watch YouTube videos.
That's literally how I figured out how to make stuff for the game that you could upload stuff into. I had to watch YouTube videos to do all this. So yeah, and then that's how I learned to do this. It's, you know, basically simple, relatively simple stuff, and then let's see. Yeah. There we go. See, there's a hole. Look at that hole there. Yeah. Yeah. The cool thing about this is if you can learn it for video games, then you can apply it to real life, like this stuff.
Yep.
So that's how I literally figured out how to do 3D work like this for video games, but I don't have the huge setup like you, but I can do this stuff if I need to now. I just don't have the setup for it now.
Yeah.
So.
But what's fun with this stuff too is let me go back to the Toy Polloi website is so here's his video, which was shown in the beginning. So this was his, you know, I have all this in the notes, so make sure he gets credit and all that. So it's not, you know, just saying it's not my design. It's all,
I know.
It's all his design. But see how he did that with the droid probe. And actually the new one I just bought actually comes with that, with the stand, which is funny. This
dude, the droid is awesome.
So I got the new one.
Wow.
Look at that droid, Mike.
That's great.
Isn't that awesome?
Here's the new one that I just got. I think I was watching. So who was I watching? It was someone on the screen. One of the toy guys, and he just said that he'd gotten it. Let me stop the share and let's do this camera. Oh. Start the camera here. Here we go. So here's the probe droid. And the new one, the Black Series, comes with the with the stand already. Wow. That Toy Polloi is printing. Yep.
That is so cool, dude.
So, yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, I gotta buy.
By the way, was a Croyer was from the comic and the toy line, or just the comic? that was from both. Yep. So Croyer was from both. Yep. So I got you. And Karza.
That was a toy. Right. Yep.
It was only Bug that wasn't a toy, right?
Yeah, it was Bug, Marionette, and Commander Ran.
Marionette and Commander Ran are all they were from the comic.
All Marvel creations.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep. But you could argue that, you know, Time Traveler is basically Commander Ran, but these figures, these are the Time Traveler figures, the clear ones.
Well, that's why the rights are split up. That's why Marvel can't do Micronauts, but they can use those characters. Bug had a series, a mini series or something. one point.
Yep. I love that character. Bug was a great, great character. Fun character. And he was actually in Captain Marvel a few episodes when Peter David was right with the other, not the female Captain Marvel, the negative bands who would change place with Rick Jones. That iteration of Captain Marvel.
Really? Wow.
Yep.
Peter David was writing it?
Peter David was writing it, and Bug was in a few of those, because I was a Micronauts nut, so I bought made sure to buy every episode. It was probably in the late 2000s.
And they had Marvel?
They had not the original, not Marvel. What was his name? It was Marvel's son, or it was who was it? It was Rick Jones would change. We hit the negative bands.
That was
he would hit the
70s.
negative bands and he would transform, but I don't remember.
But that was in the 70s when Marvel was still alive.
Yeah, but no, there was another iteration too where it was
Quasar.
Okay, Quasar. Yeah. He did write the Quasar series.
But didn't they call him Captain Marvel? Genus Vale?
No, I remember him being called Quasar.
Or Photon.
I thought it was Quasar.
Photon was son. It was
that was Captain Marvel. That was Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, but they did call him Captain Marvel for a time. Yeah.
Really?
Genus Vale is Captain Marvel. Yep. So yeah, it became the third.
Oh yeah, that one there, the Legacy.
The Legacy.
One.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
Yep, Silver Surfer, but he was he was in.
Yeah, I never really read that. Ron Mars. Well, I can tell you why I didn't read it.
Yeah. Me and Mike can tell you right there why we didn't read that.
Yeah. Yeah, Rick, and they were bonded together. Yeah, so there was some. Yeah,
so he brought that back, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So you see right here. Yeah, so they are alternate between the microverse and regular Marvel. Yeah, and Bug was in there. Yep. Oh. Not many issues, but that's.
Dude, I did not read that actually.
Yeah,
but maybe Peter David was writing it at that point.
He wrote a few issues. Not.
Well, he's a better writer. He's a way better writer than Ron Mars.
Yeah, so a few. Yeah. If I could be wrong, but I thought.
No, he probably did. He was prolific.
Yeah, so did a few of them. Yep, and then Bug. Yeah, if you do Bug and Marvel. So that's where we saw. They went to the microverse and Ant-Man. It was kept give me the microverse, give me Bug. Yeah, so this was that was a miniseries, or I think this is a one-shot, 1997.
Okay, yeah, so a buddy of mine went nuts for that. That was
I have that. Yeah.
Bill Mantlo.
You know what it looks like? That looks like Ambush Bug too. So.
Well, yeah, but he wasn't comical like Ambush Bug. But,
yeah, I know. Yeah. Ambush Bug was off the wall.
I loved Ambush Bug though.
Yeah, Ambush Bug was like freaking cool.
Yeah, it was a fun comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had
I bought this one. I bought this Bug comic. I think
I didn't buy this one.
Well, a buddy of mine who he loved Micronauts comic, and I didn't really buy it that much, but he loved Bug. It was his favorite character, and he talked me into buying it. I can't even remember who wrote and drew it, to be honest with you, because it doesn't say right there, but I can't really remember anyway. That particular comic, I mean.
And then actually, at one point, they're going to relaunch the Micronauts, and they found out the rights are screwed up.
Yeah, the rights are split up because which is like ROM. They can't do a ROM comic.
Yeah, because
IDW is doing it now. The Parker Brothers owns ROM.
Yeah, because they wanted to have him in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Didn't James Gunn want to use ROM? And
yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, so this Interspace website is great if you like Micronauts. And they had the whole story of the proposal, and they started writing new number one. And then they were going to try to get the rights back. So this was going to be a new Micronauts issue.
Bill Mantlo's still pretty much a vegetable.
Unfortunately, yeah. He was in skating.
Did that ever come out? Because I don't remember ever seeing it.
No, this was planned, and then they couldn't clear the rights. Yeah. So it was a rights issue. Because of how the characters are split.
Yeah, it's that stupid rights issue they
and Princess Marie, yep. Yeah. So Commander Rand.
Sorry.
What was that?
The phone went off.
The phone, yep.
Oh.
Sorry.
So Raquel saying, I'd like to
okay.
see develop a transparent low stand that held the figure by the back of the neck under the clothing. Yep. Well, that's a cool idea too. These figures don't
Mari
have.
looks kind of cool.
Yeah, no, she's cool. Yep.
Yeah.
But like Mike, what you were saying too, if you had the Micronauts were designed, the figures were designed to have have this peg. Let me show I'll show the camera again. So let's start the camera here. They've got that peg. They were designed, with that all the figures and everything going going together.
Nice.
So
I love that probe droid. That was fantastic.
Yeah. So you've got these pegs.
Okay,
on the back. So that's,
those are some popular toys. I wasn't buying toys at the time, but man, you talk to a lot of people. They really loved Micronauts.
Yeah, because you could build things and exchange things.
Yeah.
All together. I know I'm far from my mic. I gotta yell here, but
That's all right.
So here's this is the original pin that goes in there. So if you measure this pin, calipers on, so you can see.
Oh boy,
it's 5.
Oh wow,
5 millimeters there.
Nice. That's a cool measuring
So
thing.
that's the nerd part of it. Yeah. So and then this is my next.
You're geek nerding. You're nerd geeking.
Yep.
You're nerd geeking. Nerd geeking.
Yep. So Raquel's saying, can you? I'm not sure what she means by unpack.
I think I'm gonna have to go lay down for a while though. But
yeah. No. We're gonna stop. We're gonna stop now. Anyway.
No, I mean you guys go on as long as you want, bro. I mean I'm just gotta.
Is your back hurting you again?
Yeah.
Well, that and I gotta be up at 6 for 7 because Loki wants me. Loki's good.
I forgot Loki asked you on the show. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna wrap up. I gotta get to bed too, so we're gonna wrap up now.
I'm sorry, man. I don't make. I don't want to.
No. I was planning on wrapping it. No. I'm planning on wrap. We've been.
I feel bad for being so late, man.
No, God, it was just the last minute. I figured if you wanted to hop on, but.
I'm glad. Are you kidding me, man?
Yeah.
Would miss it.
I love.
Yeah, and then I fell asleep, and I was like, "Oh, is Mark streaming?" I missed another stream.
Well, this is 7. Well, this is 7 hours now because we were going to do cock for 6 hours.
Yeah, and then we had a 6-hour stream in the stream today. So,
oh, really?
And then I took a nap afterwards.
Yeah.
Cool. What's that one there?
So this one, we'll close down on this one. So this is Microtron, one of my favorite figures. So Toy Polloi actually has decals you can do. I got to repaint the horn there, or the drill, which is strategically placed, shall we say, on the figure, and redo some of these the chrome pieces here, and then I got to make some new treads. And the engine's not working now, the motor's not working. I got to fix him, but he's kind of like an R2D2 kind of figure, so I got to restore him. Yep. And then there's Biotron I never got. Yeah, see, like you could put this comes off. You could put a. I don't know why, but you could have there's you could have a character sit on top.
Oh man, that's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah. So
I love it.
Cal was saying these actually are cheap calipers. The Swiss side of me doesn't like these. Are cheap Amazon $20 calipers, but my tutorials or some Swiss calipers are a lot better. But you can get these on Amazon now for pretty cheap. But it's good to have them. Yep. Yeah. So I had the original pin there. Yep. So it's been fun doing this project. So I hope everyone, if you had trouble printing this, or I got to get in touch. Oh, you can get me in touch with Toy Polloi, maybe just I can get him that design or talk to him. It'd be fun to get him that stuff that I did. So just help improve the design a little bit. So, but that's been a fun. It's fun to have projects like these and tweak. And being booed, yep.
Yeah.
With the Swiss, probably with the cheap calipers, right? I have the expensive calipers that work. The really good ones that work. These are my cheap home calipers to just to mess around with and not do anything serious. But yeah, so yeah, and then I'm working on my grammar too, Raquel. Those are my show notes. I didn't really go over those to go over those that well last night. So, but that's all good, I guess, right? So yeah, so Mike, I know you got to get to. I got to get to bed too. Yeah, so it got late early here, as they said. So
no problem. But thanks, dude. I'm sorry I was so late, buddy. But I'm glad.
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
But you guys were awesome on Doomcock. So you guys were.
It was amazing.
That was fun. Yeah. So so let's.
Thanks, we appreciate it.
So we'll catch everyone catch Clobberin Times tomorrow for that 1,000 surprise.
Well, that's
thank you stream, right?
I'm not going to do anything for the 1,000, but he wants me on there to talk, so I'm cool with it. But
that's good. Yeah.
I need to make. I do plan to make a video to thank everyone because I owe all of you. I appreciate all of you.
Yep. Great. So all right, let's get out of here. I'm just gonna put this overlay on. I'm gonna play the outro, and then you can get some much deserved rest. Later. Bye.
Love you, number one.
Take care, everyone. Yep.
Bye, Ravel. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.